Brett Hampton, Owen Short, Steve McJunkins are three officials. Standby official Mike Milione, and we're going to have to do that again. A false jump, and we'll reset it. Yeah, great story with Dwight Perry coming back at age 37, a Durham, North Carolina native, matching up against Rick Barnes and the mighty Vols of Tennessee, the 2 seed. Just a 2.5-hour drive from Knoxville. The winner of this will match up against Utah State or UCLA. First bucket is in. Jemai Meshack opens up the scoring here tonight, Jimmy.
Yeah, able to knock in a nice jump shot to kind of get the party started. Meshack shoots about 36% on the year from behind the arc, so he is capable of making that shot.
Jackson Civils, key part of this Wofford team. He's a Kentucky native from Paducah. Played in this building as well in a high school Sweet 16. Dylan Bailey misses badly. And here comes Tennessee. Tennessee, a relentless defensive team. They want to play fast, and a lot of their offense comes off their great work on the defensive end. Meshack guarded by Civils. Drops it off. Parra banging his way in. Can't get it to go. Here comes Wofford.
Yep, and Filowitz using that big body to get up underneath Parra.
Corey Tripp gets up his first shot. Usually takes a while. You come from the SoCon Conference just to feel the size, the athleticism of a team like Tennessee.
Well, and it's going to be interesting because in the SoCon Conference, they're the top offensive rebounding team. That's one of their strengths. But against this Tennessee team, can they be as effective? With that, too, stopping the drive. Well, I mean, it's not a lot of players and teams in the country that can keep Zakai Ziegler out of the lane.
What a great player he is. He's had an amazing career. A couple of years ago, had the knee injury, cost him an NCAA tournament. It was so sad. We were there at Madison Square Garden with Tennessee. There's a three-pointer down. Justin Bailey, one of the two Baileys. You got Justin and Dylan, and Justin, the lefty, reins one in, puts Wofford on the board for the first time. And right away, Dwight Perry making some changes here as he brings on Luke Flynn and Corey Tripp on his way out. Early substitution, just a little over 2 minutes into this one for Dwight Perry.
Not sure what it was about, but obviously Coach Perry has a reason for that early substitution.
Got a whistle on the drive. Igor Milicic fouled on his way in. Now for Rick Barnes, 10th year at Tennessee. See his record as head coach of the Vols with 229 wins. He's got 833 career. He's the active leader. Barnes, very familiar run in the NCAA tournament. Been here a lot, but trying to take this Tennessee program to a Final Four for the first time. He's knocked on the door a number of times. Milicic able to save it. Another opportunity here as Lanier, no. And I think touch last by Filowitz. No, they're going to say it's going to be Wofford ball. Got a break there. And the Terriers of Wofford will take over.
A couple good looks that time. Lanier not able to cap it off, but another challenge will be for the Terriers to keep this athletic, physical Tennessee squad off of the offensive glass.
Two more changes here for Coach Perry. Kamari Holmes checks in, and Tripp is back on the floor. Their starting point guard. Here's Holmes, and he's tied up, trying to fight his way through it. Now he got numbers. Tennessee gets back well. They are so fast, so quick. Three-point shooter there in the corner, Luke Flynn. They need him to get going in this one to have a chance. And a foul is going to send it the other way. It's going to be the second foul on Bailey. And that is going to bring in Jeremy Lorenz. So you're getting a pattern here with Dwight Perry. He's trying to get everybody acclimated to this environment, to this scene. And his rotation is all in the game here, Jimmy, 3 minutes into this game.
It is, but I'm sure he probably didn't want to really substitute for Justin Bailey, but him picking up his second foul forced him to pull that card out, and there's Chaz Lanier being able to step up, square those shoulders, get that beautiful stroke right in place.
SEC Newcomer of the Year, Chaz Lanier. Second team All SEC in his 5th year after he transferred from North Florida. That one's true. Three-pointer by Kamari Holmes out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Did not score in the SoCon tournament title game against Furman. Takeaway, Lorenz. Wofford pushes. Down inside to Filowich. He's got a flurry of moves, but he was met and blocked by Milicic. Chaz Lanier fouled, no shot prior to the shot attempt. And Luke Flynn picks up the foul.
Well, this adds value to Lanier's game, his ability to attack off the dribble. So now as a defender, he's kind of caught in a quandary. If I get too close, he can get by me. If I give him too much airspace, whether that's catch and shoot off the dribble, he can get the shot up over top of him.
Looking for the lob. Akpara able to secure it. Now he lost it. And a Tennessee turnover.
I mean, this Terrier defense is going to swarm. So you got to be strong with the ball. That time Akpara not able to wheel it in. Now he's had problems even back at Ohio State kind of handling passes.
Wofford tournament champions out of that SoCon, beating Furman. They lost to Furman on senior night in the regular season at the end. And that was a crushing loss. So to come back and run the table at the SoCon tournament, Coach Perry said it was a signature moment as Tripp misses a three.
Yeah, and Allie asked him, yesterday, what was the inflection point of the season? And to your point, it was that game on senior night, lost to Furman. It kind of refocused this team's mindset.
Tennessee made it to the SEC tournament title game, lost to Florida. They beat Auburn, though, in the semifinal. We saw Auburn win on this floor earlier today. They advance to the second round of the South region. That's an air ball. That's a shot clock violation. Did he get it off in time? Officials take a look at each other and confirm. Shot clock violation takes us to a timeout. Wofford, a good start, mixing in a bunch of players, going toe-to-toe with Tennessee early. Field of 64 underway today, and we've seen some upsets. Utah State getting ready to take on UCLA. They've done it with 3 different coaches in 3 different years. They'll be on this floor a little bit later. And how about McNeese coming out of the Southland, taking down Clemson. Zakai Ziegler, 2 assists already, jumps to #1 all-time assist leader at Tennessee, among other records. Ziegler, the senior, out of Long Island. First minutes on the floor for Kate Phillips for Tennessee, and matches up underneath. Three-pointer no good. Run down by Tripp. Second chance here for Wofford. Wofford shot it beautifully in the SoCon tournament, especially in the championship game. That's why they are here, and that's going to be a foul. Darlin Stone-Dubar also getting his first minutes of action here, and he commits a foul with Civils on his way to the basket.
Well, attention to detail. I mean, because you're going to have to, if you're Tennessee, to talk early and often and loud, because Wofford has a lot of movement off the ball, on the ball, darting through the lane. And if you don't communicate it like that cut there, the cut was set up, open, but a late help caused the foul.
The Baileys are back on the floor, Dylan and Justin. Tripp looking for Justin. Tennessee straight up man, and they are not allowing Wofford an inch. Jeremy Lorenz trying to shake Phillips in a foul. He bumped him. Tell you, Jimmy, we talk about this every year, but you go through a conference like the SEC, Big 10, Big 12. The game's officiated differently, especially in game 1 of round 1 in the NCAA tournament. It just is.
And it's hard to make that adjustment right away for teams that are accustomed to playing aggressive defense, and then those fouls get called early, and then it could cause you to get a key player or 2 in foul trouble. So that is a challenge.
Here's Lorenz, Wisconsin native, backing his way in. Finds Tripp, open for three, missed it. Tennessee pushes, Ziegler. And he peels it back. Wofford does a nice job getting back. 8-6, Volunteers lead it. Wofford is using a heavy rotation here. They played all 8 of their rotation members as Gainey rises up. Gainey off the bench, knocks it down. A little mid-range jumper is pure.
Yeah, able to snake that screen right there. Sometimes you got to have discernment whether to get all the way to the basket or pull up for an uncontested shot. And that time, Gainey able to find the mid-range and knock it in.
Gainey, their best scorer off the bench. He was cooking against Florida in the SEC tournament title game. Had 24 in that one. Nice pass and a finish. Justin Bailey. Beautiful look from Jeremy Lorenz.
I tell you, they lift you up on the wings. If you don't have pressure on the pass or those back cuts, come back to haunt you. And beautiful play and set up that time for the Terriers.
Ziegler turned away. Denies the screen. Here's Gainey. Ziegler open for three. Got it. Added to his offensive game. He's known as one of the great defenders in college basketball. Ziegler averaged nearly 14 points a game this year. Shot it beyond the arc at 32%. Gives him a weapon there. You got to respect his three-point shooting. Tripp having a tough time getting out of the clutch. Ziegler passes it up. Lost the handle, but a foul on Dylan Bailey.
You know, when you have a staunch defense like Tennessee, you want to move this. You want to open up the middle, and you do that by moving the ball. Look where the spacing is at for the Terriers. It's up above, one in the corner, so it's harder to help out. And like again, the way you negate that is you put pressure on the passer. But if you're playing back up off of them, you're never going to be able to dissuade or take away that pass to a cutter, especially if they're open.
Great timing there by Jeremy Lorenz on the pass. Corner jumper is good. Chaz Lanier hits another one. AP All-American honorable mention. He's also a finalist for the Jerry West Award.
Get this, man. He's a 40% career three-point shooter. Okay.
Started at North Florida. He's kept it going in the SEC. Flurry of moves, but Phillips there for Filowich. Got a block.
And a lot of times that doesn't translate as far as shooting that well in the smaller conference, but not the case for Lanier.
Lanier pops one over Sybil's. Boy, you can't stop that. 7-0 run here for Tennessee, and Chaz Lanier back-to-back buckets. Averaged nearly 18 a game this year. Chaz Lanier, an arrival in Knoxville like few others, and he is already on his way here in round 1 of the NCAA tournament. Decorated duo of Ziegler and Lanier.
Well, when you have experience, you're going to win a lot of games, especially talented experience, whether that's Ziegler with the dimes or it's Chaz Lanier. We know about his three-point shooting prowess, but also can beat you off the dribble. That's why they're such a tough out to play. There's those two gentlemen.
They've combined for 12 of the 17 thus far. Ziegler always a passing threat. We got a foul on a three-point shot. Dubar comes out and fouls Justin Bailey, and 3 free throws are coming. Second foul for Darlington Dubar off that Tennessee bench. Takes us to another timeout. 3 free throws when we come back for Wofford. They need it. It's been a 7-0 Tennessee run. 17-8, 3 free throws coming for Wofford here, and Justin Bailey. A moment ago, Allie LaForce with Tennessee head coach Rick Barnes.
Well, Coach, outside of just those 3 turnovers, what a clean start to this game. What impressed you? But also, I know you have high expectations for even better. What are those?
Well, it is. Again, right there, that three-point shot. We stopped playing right here and tried to catch up. Those you can't make those plays. And on offense, down there, 2 of those threes, you just got to catch the ball. You got to catch it. But these guys are really good. They really run good offense. They screen well. We're going to have to be on edge, and it's going to be a grind.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
And Ali, as you know, part of the defensive scheme of Tennessee is to be able to shut off the water of three-point shooting teams. But if you're scrambling and have to then have a long closeout, then you're going to have momentum going forward, and eventually, or what happened in that play was you foul a shooter because you were late to the party.
Well, Justin Bailey not taking advantage of it. He's missed his first 2 with 1 to go. Rick Barnes' 29th NCAA tournament appearance as Bailey misses all 3.
Wow.
Barnes has taken Texas, Clemson, Providence, and Tennessee to the dance. His 7th trip for Rick Barnes in his 10 years at Tennessee. Oh, strong move. Got a friendly bounce to Igor Milicic. Senior out of Croatia. Started at Virginia, then to Charlotte, and now here with Tennessee. Makes the run 9-0 after the 3 missed free throws.
Yeah, Milicic may have been a little lucky, but it don't hurt to be 6'10" closer to the rim on that shot either.
Foul on Gainey here.
You know, I got a great connection with Tennessee.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You turned him down? I know Rick Barnes, every time we see him, mentions
He recruited me.
that you shunned him.
No, he was at Ohio State.
That's because the bag wasn't big enough.
No, he was at Ohio State under Gary Williams at the time. But 2 of my close friends who I grew up with, one Chucky Webb, who played running back for Tennessee with Reggie Cobb, and then Jeremy Lincoln, both from Toledo, Ohio, played at University of Tennessee.
I'm very sorry you missed the NIL era of college basketball.
Yeah, me too.
You might not have been sitting here next to me. I mean, you did pretty good for yourself, but man, Jim Jackson, Google him.
Yeah, man.
Youngsters, Ohio State Buckeye.
And another offensive rebound, so you got to take advantage of it when you get the chance now for the Terriers.
Milicic having a hard time finding himself some space with the bigs of Tennessee. They are right with him, and all the moves are forcing him into very tough shots.
Yeah, and even with deep post position, his lack of size still doesn't give him an advantage to get a clean look.
Three-pointer around and down it goes. Chaz Lanier. Chaz Lanier with double figures now. He's got 10 first-half points. It's a 12-0 Tennessee run, and they're up 22-8.
And Lanier doesn't need, like, really great shooters a lot of time or space to get his shot up.
Wofford, they can't dribble themselves free. They rely on the 3. They're a team that plays at a slower pace statistically, but they move the ball well. Finally get an open look and cashes it in. That's Jackson Sybil's.
You get 2 feet in the paint, you suck in the defense, and then now you have to make a decision on the play.
Milicic, no. And going to be a foul on Phillips of Tennessee. That'll be Wofford ball. Where finally Wofford finds an open man, and they cashed it in.
Well, but not a lot of opportunities. You see Tripp able to get 2 feet in the paint, because when you have a team like Tennessee who closes down those gaps very quickly, if you can't attack them, force a rotation, you're not going to get those driving kicks. That's why we haven't seen a lot of them from the Terriers as of yet.
Dwight Perry continuing with this theme of these quick bursts and then substitutions. Jeremy Lorenz gives it up, and Flynn hits a 3.
Guess what?
Always ready.
Yep, and 2 feet in the paint that time. Lorenz able to get inside there. Again, attack that gap, force the rotation, and when you're open as a shooter, be confident, step up and knock it in.
First one for Flynn, the 4th for Wofford. Gainey steps in, delivers it to the corner, had 2 players over there. Wofford out of the pack. Tripp looking for help, gets in the air and is fouled. And Luke Flynn, he's a 36% three-point shooter.
But sometimes the game is real simple. You drive, it's a pack of Tennessee defenders because you're taught to converge inside to take away any layups. And now if you can get into the sight line of the ball handler, you're going to get an open shot.
Flynn, just a freshman. And touch last by Wofford, couldn't get it in, and that's going to be Tennessee ball as they force the turnover.
Yeah, you can't, we talked about it, you know, Alabama State against Auburn, you got to limit those empty possessions, particularly when you're up against a team like Tennessee that makes you pay for turning it over or a bad shot.
Gainey, no. And Jemai Meshack stuck with it. Offensive board and a putback. Tennessee back up 10. Trip with Ziegler on him. Oh, nice little fadeaway, got a friendly bounce. That's one advantage. I mean, Ziegler is as good as he gets defensively, but Tripp is a point guard at 6'3". He's got some size on Zakai Ziegler, who checks in at 5'9" with his shoes on. Seven and a half to go, first half. Ziegler in and out. And the ball pops free right to Meshack. Looked like Lorenz and Holmes collided with one another. And an easy bucket for Tennessee to put them back up double figures.
And that's an example of doing everything right, but just bad luck. You kind of collide into your own teammate, which forces the ball loose right into Meshack's hands for an easy putback.
Tripp turns the corner. Inside, oh, nice pass. Filowicz had it knocked out of his hands, though. Tennessee recovering beautifully there. Chaz Lanier, he'll pull it. Chaz Lanier, short, gets a long rebound. Reset for Tennessee. Lanier with 10 first half points, make it 13. Chaz Lanier's feeling it right now. 5 of 8, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc, Jimmy.
Yeah, he's going to be on somebody's team playing in the big boy league next year, shooting it like that.
Flynn turns the corner, drives it. Boy, Filowicz is there to clean it up. Needed that. Kyler Filowicz, SoCon tournament most outstanding player. Filowicz with his first basket of the game. And a guy who averages nearly 12 a game, but it's kind of the center of the wagon wheel in their offense. Great passer. And he drives it. And a foul. Free throws coming for Jordan Gainey. Takes us to a timeout. How about Chaz Lanier, Jim?
Well, I told you, the 3-letter NBA, not too far from this man's future.
The Wofford Terriers out of the SoCon. They're feeling the weight of Tennessee. A moment ago, Allie LaForce with head coach Dwight Perry.
Well, Coach, after struggling to score, how do you simplify the offense to restore the confidence in this group?
Yeah, obviously their switching is making us a little stagnant offensively, so we have to continue to move the ball, move our bodies. We have to do a good job of playing with a little more pace right now. We're standing. But if we can do that and get them moving and open the floor up a little bit, I think we'll be able to generate better shots.
And how much do you emphasize defense can lead to offense? Let's do the small things defensively to get us back in this.
Well, it's huge. Obviously, Tennessee's really good, and obviously they can be very methodical offensively. And so what you can't do is get frustrated defensively and let that, right, affect the other end, and it's vice versa. Even though we're not getting great looks, we have to still continue to fight and let our defense still be sustainable so that we can turn defense into offense.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
The best way to attack size is to move it, especially East and West. When they're not anchored in, now their size is not as effective. We saw it a couple of times with 2 feet in the paint, spray it out, now you got an open 3. And plus, to your point, he wants his guys to be fresh, hence why the lineup changes have come so often, because he wants to pressure up defensively, but he also wants to try to push the pace offensively at times.
Jordan Gainey, couple of free throws here, knocks down the first one. Dwight Perry, the Kentucky grad, was on the All-SEC honor roll 3 times. Played for Billy Gillespie and originally Tubby Smith. He said he got a great text from Tubby Smith, and it said it just warmed him up. You hear from a former coach, proud of him to make his first ever NCAA tournament. Perry, in his 3rd year, began his coaching run in the video room as a grad assistant at VCU under Shaka Smart. And I spoke to Shaka about Dwight, just raving about him. And he's another coach that's so proud of Dwight Perry and what he's done in Wofford. Taken over And now in his 3rd year to get him here to the NCAA tournament.
Think about it, they were picked to finish 4th in SoCon Conference. So to be able to be playing in the first weekend shows you what an excellent job he and his coaching staff along with his players have done throughout the course of the season.
Sybil shovels one inside. Lorenz, nice moves under there. Kid from Brillion, Wisconsin, between Milwaukee and Green Bay. And he scores 2 more. He's had an effect here on this game. Wofford down 11. We approach the 5-minute mark of this first half. Gainey backs it out, looking for a screen. Gainey kicks it. And a drive and a bucket. Bishop Boswell just on the floor for the first time. Freshman out of Charlotte, able to score his first basket in an NCAA tournament. Lorenz drives on a block. No, they're going to count it. Goaltend. Felix Akpara on its way down and score 2 more for Jeremy Lorenz.
Well, but this is why it's important that the initial defense, you keep your opponent in front of you. And for 2 plays now, Lorenz has been able to get his foot and shoulder by Akpara. He used the pump fake before to get up underneath, and now the drive to get by him. So solid defense, keep the ball in front. Now you're not, a half a step behind trying to catch up.
You're hunting for matchups. They're hard to find with Tennessee defending, but that may be one of them. Lorenz against Akpara, even though he's a great shot blocker. Ziegler had it knocked out of his hands. He recovers. And in the corner, no good. 3-pointer, too strong by Meshack.
An opportunity for the Terriers to get this thing under double digits right here. Again, just keep yourself in shouting distance. Maybe go on a run, get consecutive stops. Find yourself right back in this game.
Sybils drives, rises up, missed it. Too firm off the glass. Tennessee by 11. 3.5 to go, first half action. The number 2 seed, Tennessee Volunteers. One of the 14 SEC teams in the NCAA tournament of the 16-team league. Wow. 2 number 1s, 2 number 2s. There's a pick and a steal. Corey Tripp pulls it back, 3-pointer, short. Meshack with the board.
And that's one where I wish he'd go for a layup. I mean, you got the numbers right there. That cuts into this lead, puts a little bit more pressure on Tennessee, but you bail them out. And I know that's today's game, Brian, but sometimes a layup can have the same cause and effect.
Late clock, 3 to shoot. Chaz Lanier, pull up, no. And there's Lorenz, knocked out of his hands by Meshack. Secures the possession. Another chance here for Tennessee. And an eternity on this end of the floor to play defense for Wofford. Tennessee hard enough to stay with for 1 chance. Lanier, mid-range jumper, missed it. And Bailey with a rebound.
Yeah, good contest that time by Lorenz, was right there. Lorenz is huffing and puffing a little bit, laboring, getting down the court.
Justin Bailey. Trips open in the corner. And the shooter's touch. Corey Tripp, 36% 3-point shooter. Had a big miss the previous possession. Now he drills one. His first made 3. Wofford crowd just to the right, or to the bottom of where we're looking now. They're into it. Taking the punches. Ziegler drives it and is fouled. Free throws for Zakai Ziegler. Corey Tripp steps into a 3-pointer. Got these friendly rims here at Rupp Arena. 33-25. Vols up by 8. And the rebounding story, you knew it was going to favor Tennessee. Obviously, Wofford trying to answer with more made shots. They've struggled from the field overall, but been able to hit 5 3-pointers. Ziegler knocks down the first of 2 free throws. Assist leader now, total assist in program history. 5th in Division I at 7.5 a game. And brought some scoring punch once again this year. Incredible career. Tripp turned away, and now Civils. Wofford looking for a good shot, and Tripp comes all the way back around to get the ball back and delivers.
And you called it, and that's a play drawn up by Dwight Perry out of bounds to kind of get, again, movement, shift the defense. You get Tripp with that size right in the middle of the lane, able to rise up and connect.
Chaz Lanier misses a jumper. Dylan Bailey at the controls, and he lost the handle. Gainey forces a turnover. Ziegler with a burst, gives it up. Chaz Lanier missed it, but a foul. Jackson Civils fouls him, and free throws here for Lanier.
Now, Dylan Bailey at the top plays with a little bit too much and loses it right here. And Wad Ziegler right here, he's going to look, wait, and then drop it perfectly for Lanier to catch it, and Ziegler just knowing when to give it up.
Misses the first, though. An excellent shooter, typically. Hey, TNT is your new home for NASCAR this summer. Tune in beginning June 28th on TNT and streaming on Max. 1 out of 2 for Lanier. He's Tennessee's top scorer. 14 points for Chaz Lanier. Has hit 3 threes in this game. Filowich with a par on him. Once again, it's Tripp. And Tripp up and over on Parra. Can't get it. There's Filowich. Stripped out of his hands by Lanier. Tennessee is so active after rebounds.
Yeah, there's been a couple of times where they thought inside the Terriers that they had an opportunity. They got stripped away in the timeout by Tennessee. Something Rick Barnes is not too happy about.
Winning the SoCon tournament, beating Furman in the championship game. Tennessee, the 2 seed out of the SEC, finished 12-6 in conference play, won 27 regular season games this year. Ball control here, 3-second separating shot in game. Coming to the end of the first half, Lanier's been the hot hand. 3-pointer, no. And flying high with a rebound is Lorenz. Got a chance at the last one. Kick it up ahead. Filowich finds Bailey. Bailey short. Air ball. Had a good look.
Yep.
So Wofford dealing with some haymakers from the 2 seed from the SEC. Tennessee by 9 as we hit the halftime locker room. And Chaz Lanier, the top scorer with 14 points. Let's send it over to Allie LaForce with Chaz.
Well, Chaz, what did your teammates do early to allow you to gain that confidence and momentum from 3 and inside?
I just feel like the coaches did a great job preparing us and letting us know how Wofford was going to be as a team. And my job is, our team has done a great job being physical, and we need to come out and do it in the second half.
Wofford's offense finally started picking up there towards the end of the first half. How do you make sure that doesn't carry over into the second?
Yeah, we came in knowing that they were going to be a great 3-point shooting team, so just sticking to our principles in the scouting report.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
I love that patch. He's a graduate, 4 years in North Florida, jumping up into the SEC and holding his own. We'll send you to AT&T at the half after these messages. This is NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Back in Lexington, Brian Anderson, Jim Jackson. Jim, let's take a look at the GMC first half stats.
Well, listen, there's not a lot of discrepancy between the two, the differences. But what it is in Tennessee's favor, see the 3-point field goal shooting, the same points off turnovers, okay, 1. Also free throws, 5 free throws made for Tennessee and 0 for the Terrapins.
Allie LaForce with the Wofford story. What do you have, Al?
Hey guys, that's right. Well, I talked to Coach and he just said we have to swing the ball and make the extra pass so we can have a more advantageous driving. We're forcing drives and too much traffic. We need to get ourselves better lanes and also force the Tennessee defense to have to move side to side. He said for their defense, Obviously, Tennessee is hurting them on the boards. They have an 18-11 rebounding advantage, and they also have 7 offensive rebounds, even worse. So he said finish with the box out, and rebounding is what Coach told me. But, guys, that seems simple against Tennessee, though. It's really not.
Yeah, totally different story. Wofford coming off their first SoCon title in 6 years. And, Jimmy, this is a shot-making team. They are a pass, cut, finish at the rim, or make the three. I mean, they're used to ball movement and executing and finishing all possessions, but Tennessee makes it tough on everyone.
Well, that jump shot that Justin Bailey just got blocked in conference, he'd have got that shot up clean.
Late clock, and it's going to be a turnover as Tripp puts it on the deck, lost the handle. Tennessee gets a steal. There's Chaz Lanier, who hit for those 14 points, including 3 threes. Looking up top, that's going to be a foul on Filowich of Wofford with a push. And Tennessee trying to set up a lob.
Yeah. You know, and here's the thing, too, and I talked about the discrepancy. They were 5 for 6 from the free throw line for Tennessee, 0 for 3 for the Terrapins. But also, too, the Terrapins did a really good job. 12 to 10 points in the paint in their favor. But when you got a shooter like that, that's an underneath out-of-bounds play where Chaz Lanier was patient to come off the screen, freed himself open.
This Tennessee team with the 3 elite defenders. Well, they're making shots here. Tough to beat. That's a block. And Sybil's able there to clean it up. So Jackson Sybil's, who has been quiet, just 5 points in this game, just a second made basket. One of those was a 3. Sybil's and Filowich, Jimmy, are the 2 guys that somehow Wofford has to get involved in this one. Milicic reigns in a 3.
I was going to say Milicic that time able to catch and shoot, no resistance, but Sybil's too from Paducah, Kentucky. Like, how many of his family members have traveled to come and watch him play? Like you said, trying to get them involved without forcing and Filowich, without force feeding the offense, like right there now, trying to pressure it a little bit more. And that's just Ziegler right there, just all up in Sybil's grill. Taking that away, and watch on this play here. And Sybil's gets caught underneath that screen. Milicic able to knock it in. And
Jimmy, Tennessee has 6 steals now. Ziegler with 2. And that's about what you expect. Ziegler, SEC Defensive Player of the Year. Meshack, all defensive team. That one was almost a highlight of the day. In and out now. Wofford on the run. And a miss by Flynn. A battle for it. And it's going to be on Tennessee. I think they'll get Meshack on that call.
Now, a lot of times with Felix Okpara, you just throw it up, he can go get it. But I think he's like up underneath that time. Jackson Sybil's was right up underneath and kind of pushed him in the waist just enough.
Oh, now a steal by Milicic. Taking on Filowich, and a foul. Battle of the Witches right there. And free throws for Igor Milicic.
There with the taller Witches. You got to be careful how you say that on air, okay? You got to make sure you emphasize the what to get out there. So, but another, and that's the tough part about inbounds passes like that. If it's not on point, it leads to transition, which we saw right there.
Well, the top 11 in points allowed, just 63, and think about the conference they're playing in as well. I mean, that's a strong number. Opponent field goal percentage, 3rd best, and they are the best team in the nation. Opponent's 3-point percentage, and that's an area where Wofford relies. Matter of fact, they're 5 threes in the first half. The only reason they're even in shouting distance right now. Overall field goal percentage down in the low 40%. Jackson Sybil's comes up with his 2nd bucket of the second half. Ziegler probing, again working with Okpara. He'll take it himself. Ziegler with a little push shot.
You know, it's funny how quick Ziegler is, but he plays at his own pace. He can slow it down, manipulate the defense, get guys on his back, and then explode right away. But that's just the savviness of having a veteran point guard in your stable.
Sybil's the lefty, catch and shoot, delivers a 3-ball. Looks up to his Wofford crowd. 7.5 already in the first 3 minutes for Sybil's. Oh, an answer. Chaz Lanier on the other end with a 3.
I mean, no space right there.
That release is quick.
It is.
It plays.
His shooting pocket is higher, so it allows him to get up into a shot quicker.
Good ball movement. And Sybil's again comes up short. And Lanier had it for a moment, but a second chance. Sybil's, no, in and out. 2 good looks, 2 misses. Sybil's 35% three-point shooter. Wofford, if they have any chance at all against mighty Tennessee, they're going to have to make their threes. Ziegler for 3, short. And Filowich and Okpara, and they're going to get Filowich on the foul.
Now, I want you to watch it. Chaz Lanier, where his shooting pocket is at. Watch where he catches it right there. But even though that was a dip because the pass was a little bit lower, how quickly he was able to get it up. You know, one thing, too, another way this team, Terriers, can get into it. I know they're a poor free throw shooting team, but that number can be misleading. They're at 66%, but that's because Filowich, you know, and Holmes are poor free throw shooters, so they drag the number down. But their main players shoot 75, 78, 80%. Can you get those players to the free throw line while the clock is stopped?
That's a great point. There's a miss, a follow by Phillips, but he can't finish it. You saw Filowich on the bench now. He just picked up 3 fouls in less than 4 minutes. Coach Perry benches him, and that's going to be Tennessee ball.
And I know Filowich is on the bench, but with this lineup here, it might allow them, the Terriers, to play with a little bit more pace.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You know, to be able to pick up the tempo, get some easier shots.
No knock on Filowich either. Just the competition and the matchups just don't favor Kyler Filowich, who's been such a big part of their team.
Well, he's not even able to facilitate like you would normally see him because you're not going to get double teamed. You're not going to overhelp when he gets the ball. So that kind of takes away some of the space he utilized, kind of set his teammates up for those backdoor cuts or passes outside.
Everybody getting a touch, but that's a turnover right into the hands of Tripp. Wofford good defensively. Tripp had it knocked out of his hands. Back come Tennessee. Ziegler. And Meshack is fouled. Well, Tennessee just on you like piranhas. Even when you think you've got a transition opportunity. Jahmai Meshack will have free throws when we come back from Lexington. Oh, yeah, they're dialed in. You can bet. Coach Cal, he and Rick Barnes sharing the most victories among active coaches. And Jahmai Meshack at the line here for Tennessee. Great to be back inside Rupp Arena. It's been 12 years since we've had an NCAA tournament here on the men's side, and this crowd has been anxiously awaiting this particular window. We saw Creighton beat Louisville earlier today. We were in the South region early. Creighton winning. Beating Louisville felt like a road game for Creighton. And then Auburn, after a little scare in the first half, put the gas pedal down, beat Alabama State. So it'll be Creighton and Auburn here Saturday. And now in the evening session, we're in the Midwest region. Tennessee, the 2 seed. Tennessee and Wofford. Wofford coming out of the SoCon. We've got UCLA and Utah State coming up in our nightcap. Fouls called on Phillips. Cade Phillips picks up his 3rd. Utah State, they are observing, getting ready for their matchup with Mick Cronin and the UCLA Bruins. Five minutes into this second half, Tennessee leads by 14. Wofford desperate for a run. Dangerous pass. And that's going to be a foul, and that goes. Jackson Sybil's and 1. taking on one of the best defenders in the game. Took him right to the basket.
But Civils at 6'6", and he weighs more than 207, is a physical guard. Look at this right here. He got as low as Ziegler, but that strength was overpowering. And then the ability to finish through the contact. Yeah, another opportunity here. Cut this lead down to 11.
Civils having a nice second half here. He's got 13. That's his first free throw of the game. That's the first made free throw, by the way, for Wofford. Civils, 10 points for Wofford this half. He scored them all. Lead is 11. Here goes Gainey, kicks it. Meshack. Paint touch again. Now Ziegler gets inside, blocked. That was denied. Nice defense by Luke Flynn. He stuck with him. Lorenz, turn back. Corey Tripp kicks it open. Holmes steps into a 2, missed it. Yeah, that was some closeout there by Lanier.
Yeah, but you know what? One more dribble, he got clearance right there. Holmes has clearance for that shot, but the one dribble that didn't take up a lot of space allowed Chaz Lanier to close out and contest that shot.
Ziegler, two-man game with Okpara. And now it's Gainey. Okpara trying to post up Lorenz. They've hit him for a lob already, going to the rim again, and that is denied by Jackson Civils. Wofford on the push. Tennessee gets back. Tough to get a basket in transition against the Vols.
Yeah, they load up quickly.
Holmes turned away. Lorenz, catch and shoot. Cash. This kid's not afraid right here.
Nope.
Jeremy Lorenz, it's his first made 3, has not missed a shot. 6-0 Wofford run. Oh, the man who's been answering all day, Chaz Lanier. And a whistle underneath as Civils hit the deck. Score the basket. Officials coming together here to talk it over. So the three-pointer is good. And the foul is on Lorenz, which will be his 4th.
Look at that footwork. Get the shot up, and then after the shot, it's right in the back into, that's Lorenz Okpara. That's foul number 4.
That's a 17 foul as well. We got a lot of basketball to be played as the officials still talk it through. And just making sure who the foul is on here. Officials go to the monitor quickly. Right now, the initial call was Jeremy Lorenz.
Yeah, and he's going out the game.
It's going to stay that way, and they're going to bring Filowich back. Actually, we just told they were confirming who the shooter was. It's going to be Okpara. So it's a 1-and-1 here. And knocks down the first.
It could be a 5-point swing here.
Got
a 5-point possession.
Now Lanier with a 3. Okpara back with one more.
Okpara, 71% free throw shooter. Confident when he gets to the line.
Transfer from Ohio State.
Jinx.
By way of Nigeria. Who would ever leave Ohio State? Why would you do that, Jim?
But you know what, though? His sponsor's family, I learned, lives in Chattanooga, that's close to here. So him moving back this way, having the opportunity.
There's always more to the story.
Always more, man.
12-point Tennessee lead. Wofford with the ball. And little step back, pulled the string. Tripp hit it out. There's a rebound by Filowich. Kicks it. Tripp for 3. Needed it. Got it. Corey Tripp. And Wofford on a little run. Cut it to single digits as we go to timeout.
But the offensive rebound, Filowich not scoring, but now he facilitated. Tripp said, line him up, lace him up, let him go. Bowles up.
Civils having a nice second half here. He's got 13. Tennessee ball, 12:41 left in regulation. We send it over to Allie LaForce.
Brian and Jim, Coach Perry had a very real moment with his teammates and his team, in the last huddle. He looked at them right in their eyes and he said, we are the tougher team and we have 12 minutes to show it. This is a winnable game, but we have to be who we are. The harder playing, more together, tougher team. He looked at him and he said, it's up to you. Not a great way to start after the timeout, you guys, but they were inspired by him and it's now or never.
Thanks, Allie. Good stuff. And trying to find an answer for Chaz Lanier has been a challenge. 10.5 for Lanier. He's stacking up a big number. He's got 24 already, and there's a takeaway. Filowich lost his feet, lost the ball. Tennessee up 11. They led by 9 at the half. Pushed it to a 14-point lead. Wofford then cut it to 8. And now Ziegler in some ball control, looking for Lanier. Why not? He rises up, hits another one. Chaz Lanier, 26 points. Team Lanier loving that. Pop said, that's my boy. Hot hand. What a thrill for these parents to see their kids on this stage. Sybil's, and he draws the foul. Sybil's crafty to draw the foul. Free throws when we come back. Chaz Lanier putting on a show here in Lexington in round 1. 26 points.
Well, when you need a basket for Tennessee, you call on Chaz Lanier. Right now, 5 for 10 from behind the three-point line. Listen, 115 threes made on the year past. Chris Lofton, who played for UT 2005-2006 with the single most and number 10 in the SEC single list. So still counting. I can imagine if Allen Houston played at this time, how many threes he had.
He's had some great names there in Knoxville as Sybil's hits the free throw. Send it over to Allie LaForce.
Well, Brian and Jim, it is often the case that when someone is a great athlete, they probably came from great athlete parents, and that's the case for Chaz Lanier. His mom, Stacy, played at Alcorn State, and his dad, Thomas, was a 1,000-point scorer at Lipscomb, and I talked to him about it, and he said they're parents first, but there are a few things that can really get them going as coaches. For Mom, it's when he stops shooting. She always tells him if you miss a couple, continue to shoot and have the confidence. And for Dad, it's definitely when he doesn't play defense. So parents first, coach second, but they're definitely a huge part of his basketball story.
Hey, Allie, who do you think is the toughest on him, Mom or Dad?
You already know the answer to that.
No, it was kind of rhetorical.
Tennessee gets a big lob. Second lob they've connected with Akpara on the receiving end from Ziegler. There we go, under 11 minutes. A little hesitation by Tripp. Oh, nice shot fake and missed it. Got himself open, couldn't finish it though. Tennessee by 13. By the way, Chris Lofton occupied the top 3 three-point shooting seasons in Tennessee history when this year started. Chaz Lanier now second, and there's another one down. Zakai Ziegler getting into the act.
Well, I tell you what, he hits that on a consistent basis like we saw in the SEC tournament. It broadens out this offense and provides him a little bit more space to navigate.
Filowich.
Yep.
Turned away, kicks it. Bailey in the corner, needed it. Wofford gets a three-pointer from Dylan Bailey.
Well, and give Filowich credit too. He didn't try to force that shot because he hasn't been able to get a lot of field goal attempts, but he made the right play, and as a result, you get a contested 3 that was able to be hit. Now
Going the other
offensive
way.
foul, yep.
Offensive on Milicic on the screen.
Well, Ziegler and Akpara missed one earlier, not this one. He's able to get that one right on target, and then the pull-up jump shot. He reads the screen. Defensive player goes below it.
Zakai Ziegler has 12. He's hit 2 threes in this game. Always gives you the great defense. He does have 10 assists in this one, so he's got an assist double-double. Has a couple of steals as well. It's Gainey who picks up Tripp. Gets the switch. Now Milicic on him. Now they switch again. Akpara. Tripp resets in the corner. Missed it. Gainey the rebound. Tripp's had some good looks, but he's 2 of 7 now from three-point range. And that's going to be a foul. Kamari Holmes called for the foul. Biggest names in home renovation are helping to bring the small town of Sebring, Florida back to life. Don't miss an all-new episode of HGTV's Hometown Takeover, Sundays at 8. Justin Bailey back on the floor for Wofford. And Gainey will shoot the free throws in a 1-on-1 situation here. Wofford with their 8th foul. And he missed it. And Wofford ball down 13. Tripp drives it on Gainey, and he scores, goes to the basket, lays it in. Got a lot of traffic around him, too.
Yeah, he wasn't missing that one. In that time, got those broad shoulders downhill.
Gainey drives, is fouled and one. Goes barreling in to the photographers. Well, a strong finish. No regard for his landing.
Well, that time he was able to attack the closeout by Corey Tripp. And Corey, by closing out with his right foot dropped, meaning he opened it up for the left-hand drive. That time for Jordan Gainey to take advantage of. Again, you got to square your opponent up, short step, and then get into him. That time he opened it up, and Gainey took advantage of it.
Hey, when you cock it back like that, you're looking.
Oh no, he was looking to do damage.
Throw it down.
Yep.
A 3-point Tripp down the floor. 14-point Tennessee lead. Tripp once again driving up and over Akpara. That was skillful right there. High off the glass. And 2 drives consecutively for Tripp. Ziegler probing. Finds Milicic. Milicic missed it. There's Tripp with a rebound. Sybil's had the big second half here. Can he keep it going? Finds Lorenz. Lorenz buries a 3. Here comes Wofford. Single digits now. They're back within 9. Jeremy Lorenz in double figures with 10. Has not missed. Up top again. Akpara the catch and the finish.
You saw how quick he got back up too.
Yeah,
I mean, the bounce, the rim flies
jump
by, and he pops right back up. And on the last defensive possession, Rick Barnes was not as happy with the overhelp on Sybil's down low that left Jeremy Lorenz kind of wide open.
Tripp pulls it back. Finds Jackson Sybil's, no good. Lorenz there with the offensive rebound. And then it's taken away by Gainey. Got to be strong with the ball with Tennessee. Even if you get the board, that's the 3rd time they have swiped a rebound away from Wofford in this game. Gainey's done it twice. Mashak's got one. 7-minute mark approaching. Akpara, rim run. Oh, 2-handed jam. Man, you're right, Jimmy. His bounce, it is a quick jump.
Yeah, and he bobbled it, but he was able to establish himself off 2 feet, which lends itself to that vertical explosion. You ain't seeing a lot of that in the SoCon.
Have never hit the rim. Shot clock continues as Holmes hit the side of the backboard. Now 5 to shoot, long 3, no good, tough shot. Offensive rebound again, and there's Ziegler. Another strip down. This time Luke Flynn unable to secure that rebound. Tennessee just gets lower than you. Looking for Lanier, pull up, mid-range, no. Luke Flynn with the board. Just as Wofford got it to single digits, Tennessee with another push. Kept him at arm's length. Tripp cannot get by Milicic, but a foul. So a foul on Milicic. Timeout on the floor. Akpara been a big factor here, whether it's on the lob or the dunks. He's open inside.
Well, experience lends itself to a lot of W's, but also understanding how to play defense and play against them. That's a drop coverage. Right now, you come up, you overhelp, and then the recognition, once again, drop coverage, easy three. And you gain this experience by playing a lot, being patient, and then knowing how to attack it. It's something you can teach, but something that has to be ingrained in you. Plus, you have to be able to see these kind of defense on multiple occasions to work them out, and no one better than Zakai Ziegler.
11 assists. He had a 10-assist game in an NCAA tournament game. 6 double-digit assist games, but he's got the Tennessee record. Here is Lorenz, missed it, and Phillips rips down the rebound.
That would have been a big three right there to get this lead to 10.
Tennessee by 13. 5:45 left in regulation. The 2 seed in the Midwest. Houston is the top seed in this bracket, in this region. And the advance out of Lexington. Sweet 16 in the Midwest will be in Indianapolis in the Dome. Meshack gets stuck. Milicic trying to turn the corner, cannot, but he resets. And Meshack can't hit it. Another chance here. Offensive board, Phillips. Tennessee giving themselves a lot of opportunities. Ziegler with that double-double. Ziegler, no. And that's going to be a foul on Milicic. 7th foul for Tennessee. And it'll send them to the other side for free throws in the 1-and-1.
I tell you what, this year, it's been 3 teams that I've watched play that could just shut an opponent's water off. That's just Tennessee team,
Yep.
Houston,
Yep.
and St. John's. And the difference being, well, Tennessee has it too, but you have bigger guards that can guard in space. You have post players that can guard in space. They rebound extremely well. And when you do that and they communicate and they have a tenacity about them, that when it's time to kind of shut the door, those teams know how to go to a different level to do that.
Great point. They're so tough to come back on.
Yes.
Tennessee knows if they can just grab lead, especially as you go under 5 minutes. I mean, it's not insurmountable. It feels insurmountable right now. Tennessee in control, but they lose the handle. Lanier saves it. Got to put one up. He's not afraid. From the logo, short.
I figured he was just in range right there on that one.
Up ahead. Filowich, no, missed it. It's had a tough game. A lot of size for him to deal with.
But how many Tennessee players got back in transition?
Flying.
Filowich was back there by himself, and next thing you know, he was surrounded by 3 to 4 bold defensive players.
I know we're in horse country down here, man. You talk about thoroughbreds. These guys running the floor. Yep. Phillips just throwing elbows, and he's fouled. No shot. Fouls on the floor. Bailey picks up the foul. A reminder, you can get more sports coverage than ever in the Bleacher Report app. Be sure to download the all-new Bleacher Report app today, as Cade Phillips will go to the line to shoot a pair. Wofford with their 10th team foul. Tennessee in the double bonus the rest of the way, and Phillips, the sophomore, able to knock down the first. I mean, you take on Phillips at your own risk. Elbows flying, but there was a pop to the face there by Bailey. This guy's tough right here, Cade Phillips. Sophomore out of Jacksonville, Alabama.
He's going to fill out even more. You can tell the shoulders going to fill out. Put on some more LBs, some strength and muscle, and added value too, some more an inside and out combination for Tennessee.
4 minutes to go. Tennessee trying to advance to take on either UCLA or Utah State. Lorenz fouled on his way in. And that'll take us to a timeout. We'll have free throws when we come back. Tennessee up 15, ready to put the finishing touches on the Terriers. .357 left in regulation here. Tennessee by 15. Free throws coming for Jeremy Lorenz of Wofford. Check it out here, Jimmy. That's Ty Anderson, assistant coach at Wofford. And because he is in the family now, so he married Talissa Kellogg, the daughter of Clark Kellogg. She's agonizing all the way through it. They were just married last May. Met as student athletes at Georgia Tech. Talissa played volleyball. Ty was on the Georgia Tech hoops team, and
ain't no question.
Her dad's one of the all-timers.
No question. That is Clark's daughter. No question. And now we got another bit of history there with the husband.
Oh, yes. Sorry, he's the grandson of Lefty Drizel.
Yeah, there we go.
That's not a footnote. I beg your pardon.
Yeah, just don't leave that out.
Okay. That's good teamwork. This is the third game we've done together.
So you said a long day?
I passed you the ball, and then you passed it back with like one on the shot clock.
Yeah,
that's fine. I put
okay.
it up.
You can't say I didn't pass it to you.
Yeah, the grandson of Lefty Drizel is Ty Anderson. That's quite a connection. And
Lefty, the long time.
He was in the SoCon for years.
Yeah, but where he got his fame at Maryland. In the ACC during that time period.
Shout out to Clark, one of our favorites. And there's only one Buckeye on our staff that I really like, and that's Clark Kellogg. As Meshack misses. By the way, you know Candace Parker, speaking of the family, dialed into this Tennessee game. She rides or dies with her Vols. And she's enjoyed this one thus far. Trying to get this Tennessee program to the Final Four. Never been on the men's side. All those titles on the women's side. That's a travel. Tennessee's defense standing tall against the Terriers and forcing another turnover.
But watch the anticipation here. Now you shuffle your feet, you get back in front. Zakai Ziegler that time anticipating where Corey Tripp was going to get to, hands straight in the air. That's just picture perfect defense.
11 turnovers for Wofford. Had 7 in this half. Here is Lanier. He's got another one. Falls to the ground after the shot. Chaz Lanier with 28.
I mean, you want textbook shooting, the textbook shooting stroke. There it is for you.
Bailey missed it. I tell you, Lanier's got a chance at 30. That has rarely been done. NCAA tournament history for Tennessee. Dalton Connect and Ernie Grunfeld both had 30-point games, both in losses, by the way. And Chaz Lanier sitting on 28. Beg your pardon, 29. And I'm a little too tall for Phillips. Meshack and a reset. Late clock, never hit the rim. Gainey for 3. And that's going to be a foul on Civils of Wofford as we go under the 2-minute mark.
Yeah, I want you to keep your eye, Chaz Lanier. He's right here, okay? And watch his movements off of the ball. There, just slow, take your time, then boom, you explode off the screen. And that left inside pivot foot turns and points right at the rim. Why is that important? Because now your hip swivel, that right leg comes across shoulder square, you're able to get into your shot. But it's his timing of when to explode off of the screen, when to slow down, that make it kind of impossible for defenders to stay in front of him.
Well, proud parents right there to see their son go from North Florida. He was a great scorer there as well. And the Atlantic Sun averaged nearly 20 a game, but he has brought that directly to the SEC, the biggest powerhouse conference in college basketball this year.
I think really helped his transition. Good footwork right there. Is his size. And a timeout right here by the Terriers.
Minute 41 left, 74-59. Tennessee up big, headed to the finish line. Brian Anderson with Jim Jackson, Allie LaForce, Chaz Lanier sitting on 29. Ernie Grunfeld with that 36-point game against VMI in the first tournament game. And what a special moment for Chaz Lanier to deliver like this.
This is why you come to a school like Tennessee, to be able to play on the biggest stages at the biggest moments, and now you find yourself performing at the highest level. You envision it, but now you see it, feel it. Nothing like it, B.A.
Lanier has tied a Tennessee NCAA tournament record with 6 threes. That would have been the record breaker. Meshack saves it. Another chance. And the clock will tick. For the Terriers, it'll be the end of the line.
1 minute left in the game.
Terriers winning the SoCon tournament. And there's a foul. Phillips. Wofford seeded 6th in the Southern Conference tournament, and then they beat East Tennessee State, the 3 seed, took down VMI, and then beat Furman in the championship game. Their 6th tournament title, but their first in 6 years. They put together a winning streak when they needed it. They had just 2 3-game winning streaks all year, but the one that counted for those one big leagues going in through the tournament. And now a chance to get some guys on the floor that don't get a chance to play that often. Don Douglas checks in. And that's going to be the end for Kyler Filowich. We didn't get to see his underhand free throw today. Taught to him by Rick Barry. And Filowich, such a big part of Wofford's success, but he was shut off by Tennessee today. Had a tough one. Lorenz, and that's going to be a foul on Phillips, and it'll be Wofford ball.
Well, you can tell the mark of a great defensive team.
Tennessee ball, bigger part.
That's all right. You're up 14 right now, under a minute to play, and you're still not giving up anything. One, you go hear from the coaching staff, so you better not do that. But you know, that kind of self-determination, I mean, can carry you a long way, especially on those afternoons or evenings, Brian, when the ball seems to not want to find the bottom of the net. The defense can really keep you in games.
I'm just glad Don Douglas is in the box score. If it had to be a foul, it had to be a foul. The Spartanburg native, Rick Barnes, 29 NCAA tournament appearances among active coaches at the top. And Rick Barnes taking his team last year to the Elite 8. They lost to Purdue. Will this be the year? Campbell Duncan checks in. Gavin Paul enters. Cade Phillips gets the rest of the night off with 41.7 left, as does Gainey. Tennessee will await UCLA or Utah State. That figures to be an excellent game next. One last three by Justin Bailey. Hit the first 3 of the game. Those 2 great friends right there, Sivils and Filowich. Shot clock is off. Grant Hurst will dribble it out. Rick Barnes, been around a long time, and a guy in Dwight Perry in his first NCAA tournament. And that's it. Tennessee advances. The 2 seed in the Midwest. 77-62, the final. 29 points out of Chaz Lanier. A double-double by Zakai Ziegler. And a resounding victory for the 2 seed. They will anxiously await UCLA or Utah State, the 7-10 matchup we've got coming up for you next on TNT right here from Rupp Arena. SEC taking care of their business today in Lexington. Auburn with a blowout win over Alabama State. And the 2 seed Tennessee Zakai Ziegler standing by with Allie LaForce.
Well, Zakai, it's only fitting I'm speaking to you after your first NCAA tournament win as a team this year because you've become such a foundational piece of this team. How did you use your experience and your leadership to guide them through this first win?
Yeah, I mean, well, ever since we got together in May or June, whatever it was, this was our goal, to be as best as we can in March. And, we worked a lot, very hard. It took a lot of time in the gym. And, it's a lot of ups and downs during the season, but, we all knew it was going to be worth it. And, I'm glad that we went out there and did what we did today, but we got to keep things rolling.
Chaz was incredible tonight. He said he leaned on you a lot as he tried to get comfortable with this team, but what's it like to finally see all the hard work pay off for him?
It's amazing. It's amazing. I see him put a lot of work in the gym, in practice. Before practice, he's in the gym shooting. Practice, he's going hard. After practice, he's shooting. And so, I see him putting a lot of work. So, it's paying off. I always tell him, I got your back. And whatever shot you shoot, I'm happy with it. So I'm glad that he got his confidence and his groove going.
As you know, it only gets harder. We can't wait to see you on Saturday.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
The Long Island native, Zakai Ziegler. A double-double and 12 assists in this one. Tennessee advances. Tournament games continuing now on CBS, TBS, and True TV. Coming up here on TNT, Utah State and UCLA will have it for you from Rupp Arena. First, we send you back to our studios.